Comedy and farce, the craft behind getting laughs. When looking through the listings for the West End or Broadway, you will see that shows are identified by some sort of description that helps the customers choose what they most want to see. The labels seem to be play, thriller, drama, mystery, tragedy, comedy, farce, musical, and so on. Further back one remembers labels such as comedy drama, comedy thriller, light comedy, musical comedy, and the like, which identified the piece even more specifically. So why do shows fall into such distinct categories? And why do we need to have our expectations clarified before we book our seats? Some play titles, of course, give a completely misleading impression of what the play contains. We recall how a provincial theatre manager in England once booked a play called Boys in the Band in the belief that it was a musical. For the uninitiated, it was an American play about Manhattan homosexuals. But we are dealing here with the difference between comedy and farce and how to play the difference. First of all, comedy is about character, and farce is more about types. So we can say comedy is playing an intentionally amusing character in a normal situation, and farce is playing a character very seriously in a ridiculous setup. It should be very easy to identify which is which, if it is not already on the play description. The dialogue alone will be a clear indication, and your fellow cast members and designer, we hope, will be in the right mode. The double take is something that enhances many a comedy or farce. This is when you look at something, look away, realize what you saw, and look back at it again. The speed with which you do this is the vital thing and determines the reaction you will get. It can be done so quickly that it is just an enhancement of the dialogue and is not intended to get a big reaction from the audience, or it can be a slower, and dare one say, bigger take, which should create an audible laugh. Then there is the slow burn, where you notice something fairly casually, carry on with what you were going to say, then, almost before uttering anything, turn slowly back to what you saw with a greater realization of its significance. A natural comic or farceur will be able to produce the double take without thinking about it, but if this does not come easily to you, practice doing it over and over again in front of a mirror. There is one piece of business that occurs again and again in farce, and that is the stage trip. Of course, nobody should see it coming, least of all the actor, although if it is a running gag in the play, the audience will be anticipating it after a while. So you must work out how to fool them and surprise them again. There is a little guideline that can be used in relation to a word, a line, a scene, a play, or a piece of business. It, of course, comes from the world of method acting. I want to. In order to. I am prevented by. Therefore, I. In relation to the stage trip, you could use it this way. I want to enter the room, in order to close the curtains. I am prevented by a book lying on the floor directly in my path, therefore I trip over it. You must have closed the curtains firmly in your mind when you enter the room. If you even think trip and indicate this to the audience, you lose the element of surprise. This simple device is the basis of all acting, but it is particularly helpful in comedy and farce when you are timing a bit of business, or a laugh line. Color is an all-important factor when it comes to comedy. It is very difficult to get laughs in black colors, whether you are surrounded by black curtains, as in Sorry, No Set, We Can't Afford It, or wearing black clothes, unless, of course, the character is specifically required to be clothed that way.